The Bully. Scene: a one-room school in 1916, somewhere in Canada. Cast: Sarah McLaren, in grade 6, called Senior Third. Ben McLaren, Sarah's brother, in grade 4, called Senior Second. David James, a little boy being bullied. Dan Brewster, one of the oldest students. Janet Binkley, a friend of Sarah's. Susan Binkley, a friend of Sarah's. Jennifer James, a friend of Sarah's. Henry Campbell, a bully. Mr. Mason, the teacher in the one-room school. Act 1, Scene 1. School is over for the day. Sarah is alone, erasing the boards. Ben rushes in. He has blood on his face and hands. Sarah: Ben, you don't usually wait when I stay to wash the blackboards for Mr. Mason. There's blood on your cheek. What happened? What does the other kid look like? Ben: I was leaving the outhouse when Henry came up behind me and pushed me hard. I fell on some broken glass. Henry ran away laughing. Sarah, no one would leave broken glass on the playground. He put it there so I'd fall on it. He's a monster. I don't fight him because Dad hates fighting, but I wish I could teach him a lesson. Sarah: He's in the junior 4th row, Ben. No little 9-year-old can beat him up. He's already hurt 3 boys, and he's only been here since Christmas. Anyway, I thought he was picking on David James this month. Ben: He is, but David wouldn't give him his pie at noon. It was mince, his favorite, so he hid it. That bully doesn't let any little kid eat dessert. When I told Henry to leave David alone, he shook his fist at me. He quit when Mr. Mason came into the room. I knew I was in for it. Sarah: Come on, let's clean up the glass. Ben: I already did. Henry wouldn't pick on me if Tom or Stephen were still home. He never bullies anyone who has big brothers. Sarah: Well, they're both overseas fighting the war, and they won't be home soon enough to solve our problem. Ben: Our problem? You mean my problem. You may be older, but you don't like to fight. I'm the only one who has to fight him. Sarah: Ben, you can't. He's older, bigger and meaner, and he'll fight dirty. You can't win. Dad would have a fit if you got into a fight. Ben: Someone has to stop him. We can't tell Mr. Mason or Ben will just get sneakier. Sarah: I agree. Sarah thinks for a moment. I have an idea. If we can pull this off, he'll be in big trouble. Come on, we'll clean you up at the pump outside and get home. Granddad and Dad will have started the milking without you, and Mom will need me in the kitchen. Act 1, Scene 2. Janet, Susan, Jennifer, and Sarah are huddled in the back corner of the classroom. They are getting ready to leave for the day. Dan and Mr. Mason are talking at the front of the room. Janet: Can we use your kitchen? Sarah: Yes, Janet. Mom said we can bake on Saturday morning. Susan: Janet and I can both come. Mom said we'll bring the raisins. She doesn't like bullies either. Jennifer, can you keep a secret? Jennifer: Sure, Susan. I won't tell anyone. Honest. Shouldn't we tell the other kids? Especially the senior 4th kids? Janet: I think Jennifer's right. Sarah should tell Dan what we are doing. Susan: Yeah, Sarah, you should tell him. Your older brothers are his heroes, especially Stephen. Sarah: Okay, he's coming this way now. You all leave. I'll see you tomorrow at our place. The girls leave, and Sarah turns to talk to Dan as he gets to the back of the room. Sarah: Dan, may I speak to you for a minute? Dan: Sure, Sarah. What do you hear from Stephen and Tom? Sarah: We had a letter from Steve this week. He saw Tom last month. Neither of them writes about the war. Mostly it's memories of home. Dan, we need your help. David and the other little kids haven't eaten dessert in months. Henry, that bully, takes them all. He pushed Ben into some broken glass that he must have scattered near the outhouse. We have to stop him. We need your help. We also need you to tell Mr. Mason what we're doing and get him to support us. Dan. Okay, Sarah. I could just smarten Henry up after school for you. He goes into a boxer's stance. Sarah. You fighting him would be as bad as him bullying the little kids. We have an answer that will make the punishment fit the crime. Let me tell you about it. Both leave the room while they are talking. Dan. Tell me, Sarah. I'm all ears. Act 2, Scene 1. It is the following Monday. The class is sitting quietly. Everyone has a lunch bag on her or his desk. Mr. Mason is sitting at his desk with his lunch out too. David, Sarah, and Ben walk up to Henry's desk and each leave a cookie, a tart, and some sweet. Gradually, everyone in the class adds to the pile of food on Henry's desk. Henry looks astonished and scared. He wonders if Mr. Mason has discovered what he has done. Mr. Mason. Henry, your classmates have been very generous. I think you should thank them and eat some of their offerings. Henry, looking around, stammers, thank you. Then he stuffs something into his mouth and swallows. He gasps and tries to spit it out, but Dan and his friends are at his desk. Everyone. Henry rushes out the door. The kids all rush to the window, and different students each make one of the comments below. He's pumping water as fast as he can. Look, he's dunked his whole head under the pump. Yeah, the water's filling his mouth and eyes. That won't stop the burning. Won't stop the tears either. His tongue must be on fire, and his throat. That must be hotter than my mom's chili. Janet. I guess we put enough hot spices and pepper flakes in the food. Susan. Must have. I thought we might have gone too light on the hot peppers. Dan. I don't think he'll ask for any more desserts. Ben. It worked. David, if those girls bake again, don't rush to take a cookie. They all laugh and then look apprehensively at Mr. Mason. Mr. Mason, smiling. Class, time to eat your lunches and go outside to play. Looking very stern. Eat quietly, please. I need to talk to you, Henry, alone. When I return, I will be having a talk with you as well. There are better ways to deal with a bully. Note: have fun with this play. Change any speeches that seemed awkward to you. Add more speaking parts. Decide on the character of each person in the play. Is she serious? Is he full of fun? You might want to write another play about the same situation and how it should be handled today in your school.